Stay exactly where you are. Don't move. Don't reach for your phone to check the time, and don't let your mind race toward tomorrow's burdens. There is a specific reason your soul led you to this exact frequency at this exact moment. You have been feeling it, haven't you? A strange, heavy, yet crystalline silence that has begun to wrap itself around your life like a secondary skin. For years, you were the one running. You were the one overextending, overgiving, and overthinking. You were the one vibrating at a frantic pace just to keep up with a world that never truly saw you. But lately, something has shifted. The engine has cut out. The noise of the world is starting to sound like static, distant, muffled, and increasingly irrelevant. You are entering the season of the great stillness, and I am here to tell you, do not be afraid of the quiet. You might feel like you're falling behind. You see others sprinting, shouting, and building, while you feel called to sit in a chair and simply breathe. You feel a physical weight in your limbs, a desire to stay indoors, a sudden lack of interest in the gossip and the drama that used to occupy your periphery. This isn't depression. This isn't laziness. This is the divine recalibration of a chosen one. Your internal clock is no longer syncing with the matrix. It is syncing with the eternal. Notice the symptoms in your body. Have you noticed your ears ringing more frequently lately? High-pitched frequencies that seem to come out of nowhere when you are in total silence? This is your crown chakra opening to receive data that cannot be processed through words. Have you noticed your eyes feeling heavy, not from lack of sleep, but as if the physical world is becoming too bright or too fake to look at for long periods? You are being pulled inward because the external world has nothing left to teach you. The people around you are starting to notice too. They see your withdrawal and they label it. They call you distant. They call you cold. They ask why you aren't out there making things happen, but they cannot understand that you are currently under a divine mandate of rest. You are being hidden. When a weapon is being forged, it is not kept on the display rack. It is kept in the heat and then plunged into the stillness of the water. You are in the water right now. Think back to the last few weeks. Think about those moments when you were sitting alone, perhaps staring out a window or lying in the dark, and for a split second, the need to do something just evaporated. You felt a peace so profound it almost felt dangerous. Your ego tried to jump in and say, we should be working, we should be worrying, we should be fixing things. But your spirit whispered, no, just stay. This stillness is becoming familiar because it is your natural state. You have spent lifetimes in the chaos of the battlefield, fighting spiritual wars for people who didn't even know they were captive. You have carried the weight of your bloodline, the trauma of your ancestors, and the expectations of a society that wants to consume your light. But the universe has stepped in and said, enough. The gates have closed behind you. The bridge has been burned. There is nowhere to go but deeper into the self. You may feel a slight pressure in your chest, a sensation of waiting for a shoe to drop. You've been conditioned to believe that silence is the calm before a storm, but for the chosen one, this silence is the storm's end. It is the vacuum created when God removes the parasites from your life. It is the space required for your new skin to grow. Do not rush to fill this space with new people, new projects, or new anxieties. If the room is empty, it is because it is being prepared for a king or a queen. If your phone is silent, it is because the heavens are about to speak. Deep breath in. Feel the vibration of this message in your marrow. You are not losing your edge. You are sharpening it in the dark. You are not becoming irrelevant. You are becoming essential. The stillness is not a cage. It is a sanctuary. Why is this happening now? Why has the Creator pulled the emergency brake on your life when it felt like you were finally about to gain momentum? You must understand that in the spiritual realm, speed is often a trap. The matrix thrives on high-velocity chaos. It requires you to be in a state of constant, jagged motion because a moving target is easier for the enemy to track. When you are rushing, when you are anxious, when you are grinding to prove your worth, you are emitting a frantic frequency that feeds the very systems designed to keep you enslaved. By plunging you into this deep, unshakable stillness, the divine has effectively made you invisible to the radar of the darkness. You have been pulled into a spiritual dead zone, a pocket of protection where the old laws of cause and effect no longer apply to you. The reason you feel this strange, heavy silence is that your soul is undergoing a massive software update. You are transitioning from being a reactor to being a creator. For most of your life, you operated on a survival frequency. You reacted to the trauma, you reacted to the narcissists, you reacted to the bills and the deadlines. This kept your nervous system in a state of perpetual fight or flight. But a chosen one cannot lead from a place of panic. You are being forced into stillness because the universe is purging the hustle out of your DNA. It is stripping away the false belief that your value is tied to your productivity. Look deeper into the spiritual mechanics of this moment. There is an energy shift occurring on the planet right now that is separating the wheat from the chaff. The vibrations are rising, and as they do, the old structures are beginning to crumble. If you were still tethered to those structures, if you were still running on that treadmill, you would crumble with them. The stillness is a divine extraction. You are being lifted out of the machinery of the world so that when the collapse happens, you are standing on solid, silent ground. Consider the law of the void. Before any great creation, there must be a vacuum. In the beginning, there was darkness and silence over the face of the deep. That is where you are. You are in the pre-creation phase of the next chapter of your destiny. If you try to rush out of this stillness, if you try to force doors open before they are ready, you will be birthing a premature version of your future. It will be weak. It will be prone to the same old patterns. God is keeping you still because He is waiting for the old version of you to fully die. You are grieving a version of yourself that no longer exists, and that grief requires silence. You are mourning the person who used to care what they thought. You are burying the person who thought they had to save everyone. This familiar stillness you are feeling is actually the piece of the graveyard where your ego has been laid to rest. And from that soil, something much more powerful is germinating. You are also being shielded from a spiritual attack that you cannot see. Sometimes the universe makes you lazy or unmotivated because there is an ambush waiting on the path you were planning to take. By making you sit still, the divine is letting the enemy pass by. The narcissists are looking for the version of you they can trigger. They are looking for the version of you that will argue and defend. When they find only a silent, unbothered, and still soul, they have no hook to latch onto. You are becoming unhackable. This stillness is your new power source. While the world burns through its adrenaline and its false light, you are plugging into the infinite. You are learning how to move mountains by barely moving a finger. You are learning that the loudest person in the room is the weakest, and the one who can sit in total silence without flinching is the one who holds the keys to the kingdom. Your vibration is changing from a jagged zigzag to a steady, deep hum. This hum is the frequency of the earth itself. You are grounding. You are becoming an anchor. Do not mistake this transition for a setback. You are not stuck. You are being planted. And a seed that is constantly dug up to check for progress will never grow. Trust the soil. Trust the dark. Trust the stillness. While you are submerged in this divine quiet, the world around you is reacting in a way that might seem confusing at first. Have you noticed the sudden desperation in the people who used to drain you? Have you sensed a strange, aggressive energy coming from those who once took your presence for granted? This is phase 3, the enemy's reaction. You see, when a chosen one enters the great stillness, it creates a massive energy leak in the matrix. For years, you were a battery. Your reactions, your tears, your explanations, and even your defense mechanisms were a source of food for the narcissistic structures and the low vibrational entities around you. Now suddenly the buffet is closed. Your stillness is interpreted by the world as a threat. To a person living in chaos, your peace looks like an insult. To a narcissist who thrives on control, your silence looks like a rebellion. They are terrified because they can no longer find your frequency. You have gone ghost in the spiritual realm, and this sends the enemy into a state of frantic hunting. They will try to poke you. They will send hovering texts, those "I just thought of you" messages that carry a heavy, oily vibration. They will manufacture emergencies to see if they can still pull you out of your sanctuary. They are testing the walls of your new temple. Why are they so scared of your stillness? Because silence is a mirror. As long as you were talking, as long as you were arguing or trying to fix things, they could focus on you. They could project their darkness onto you and make you the problem. But now that you have become a still, quiet lake, all they can see when they look at you is their own distorted reflection. Your stillness is forcing them to face their own inner demons, and they hate you for it. The Matrix is designed to keep you in a state of doing. It rewards the doers and punishes the beers. When you stop doing, you become a glitch in the system. You are proving that you don't need their validation, their entertainment, or their drama to exist, this makes you uncontrollable. You have reclaimed the most valuable currency in the universe, your attention. By withdrawing your attention from the trivial and the toxic, you are effectively starving the enemy out. Notice how they try to project guilt onto your rest. They will tell you that you are being selfish. They will tell you that you are changing. And they are right, you are changing. You are changing from a servant of the collective noise into a master of the divine frequency. You must realize that your power over them is now absolute, precisely because you are doing nothing. In the past, you thought you had to fight the enemy. You thought you had to win the argument or prove your point. But the higher truth is that the only way to win against a spiritual vampire is to become a vacuum. You give them nothing to grab onto. No anger, no explanation, no energy. This stillness is also a protective barrier. Imagine a fast-spinning fan. If you try to touch it, you get hurt. But a fan that has stopped is just metal. The enemy is looking for the spin. They are looking for the momentum of your past traumas to use against you. By coming to a complete stop, you have neutralized their weapons. They are throwing hooks into the water, but you are not biting. You are sitting at the bottom of the ocean, where the pressure is too great for them to follow, and the water is too still for them to hide. Do not be fooled by their sudden kindness or their sudden outrage. Both are just different ways of knocking on your door to see if you are still home. But you aren't home, not in the way they remember. You have moved into a higher mansion within yourself. You are watching them from the balcony of your soul, observing their frantic movements with a sense of detached compassion, but you are no longer stepping down into the mud to play their game. Your stillness is the ultimate no. It is the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. Use it. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. Let them fade into the background noise of a world you have already outgrown. To understand the true weight of this moment, we must look beyond the physical and the psychological. We must look at the divine law of the Sabbath, not as a day of the week, but as a state of existence. You are currently inhabiting a prophetic pause. In the ancient scriptures and the hidden mysteries of the universe, every great movement of God was preceded by a period of total, unexplained silence. Before the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, they were told to stand still. Before the new world is born, there is the silence of the womb. You are in that sacred interval. The truth is, you have been vibrating at a frequency of effort for far too long. You believed that you had to earn your place in the kingdom through suffering and labor. But the theological truth of the chosen one is that your inheritance is not earned, it is revealed. The universe is not a cruel taskmaster demanding more work. It is a loving father waiting for you to stop fidgeting so he can hand you the keys. This stillness is the law of non-resistance in its highest form. When you stop resisting the flow of life, when you stop trying to push the river, you realize that the river is already carrying you exactly where you need to go. There is a specific prophecy over your life that requires a quiet heart to hear. You cannot hear the blueprints for your future while you are listening to the echoes of your past. God is whispering the coordinates of your next destination, but those coordinates are whispered in a still, small voice. If you are busy worrying about what the narcissist said or how you will pay the bills, you will miss the turn. The stillness is a filter. It is clearing out the interference of the world's radio stations so you can tune into the God frequency. Think about the structure of an atom. At its core, it is mostly empty space. The most powerful forces in the universe, gravity, electromagnetism, love, are invisible and silent. They don't scream for attention. They simply are. By becoming still, you are aligning yourself with the fundamental forces of creation. You are moving from the particle state, where you are a separate clashing object, into the wave state, where you are a part of the infinite ocean of consciousness. This is the season where the last shall be first. While the world is shouting for prominence, you are finding power in your obscurity. The Matrix wants you to fear being forgotten. It wants you to fear being canceled or left behind. But the truth is that you cannot be canceled by a system that didn't create you. You are being hidden in the secret place of the Most High. This is a strategic withdrawal. In military terms, you are regrouping. In spiritual terms, you are ascending. The laws of the universe dictate that energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. All the energy you use to spend on the enemy, all the energy you spend on survival, is now being compressed and stored within your spirit. It is like a spring being pushed down tighter and tighter. To the outside observer, the spring is doing nothing. It is just sitting there. But inside, the potential energy is reaching a breaking point. When the divine gives the word, that stillness will be released, and you will move further in one day than you did in the last 10 years. You are being taught the art of divine indifference. This is the truth that sets you free. Nothing in the physical world can move you unless you give it permission. By mastering the stillness, you are revoking that permission. You are becoming like the sun. It doesn't have to chase the planets to keep them in orbit. It simply stays in its place and shines. Your stillness is your gravity. It will pull the right opportunities, the right people, and the right abundance toward you without you having to lift a finger. Do not rush the dawn. The sun rises exactly when it is supposed to, and no amount of human anxiety can make it appear a second earlier. You are in the pre-dawn hour. The air is cold, the world is dark, and the silence is absolute. But this is the most certain sign that the light is coming. Your only job is to remain in the I am state. I am here, I am still, I am chosen, I am ready. Now we come to the final seal. It is time to anchor this frequency into your physical reality so that it is no longer just a feeling, but a permanent state of being. You must realize that you are not just a passenger in this stillness, you are its guardian. Your practical step moving forward is the sacred no. From this moment on, if an invitation, a person, or a thought threatens to disturb the peace you have cultivated, you have the divine right to reject it without explanation. You do not owe the world your chaos. You owe the divine your stillness. As you move through your days, practice the 5-minute pause. Before you answer a text, before you react to a slight, before you jump into a task, give yourself 5 minutes of absolute internal silence. Breathe into the heavy space behind your ribs. Remind yourself, I am not in a rush because I am already where I need to be. The world will try to pull you back into the race. It will try to convince you that if you don't act now, you will lose. But the chosen one knows that what belongs to you can never be lost, and what can be lost was never truly yours. The transition is nearly complete. The old you has been successfully composted into the soil of this silence. Now I want you to prepare your spirit for a formal activation. Close your eyes if you can. If you are driving or moving, simply focus your internal gaze on the center of your forehead. We are going to seal this energy so that the enemy cannot touch the work that has been done here today. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your mind, or speak them aloud to let the atmosphere hear your command. I claim the power of the great stillness. I resign from the wars that were never mine to fight. I release the need to prove, to perform, and to provide for those who do not honor my light. I am a child of the eternal, and I move at the pace of the divine. I recognize that my rest is a weapon. I recognize that my silence is a shield. I am invisible to the lower realms, and I am highly visible to the blessings of the Most High. I seal my energy field now. Only that which is of the highest vibration may enter my space. I am grounded. I am protected. I am still. Feel the weight of that prayer settling over your shoulders like a royal robe. The tingling in your hands or feet is the confirmation that the frequency has been accepted by your cells. You are now vibrating at the level of divine certainty. As we close this transmission, look at your life through this new lens. Emptiness is not a lack, it is a canvas. The silence is not a void, it is a womb. You are being prepared for a manifestation so large that your previous, frantic self would not have had the capacity to hold it. You had to be hollowed out so you could be filled. You had to be slowed down so you could be directed. Go forth today knowing that you are the most powerful person in any room, not because of what you say, but because of the silence you carry within you. You are the eye of the hurricane. Let the world spin, let the storms rage, let the people shout. You remain unmoved. You are the chosen one, and your stillness is the mark of your mastery. Claim this message in the comments by typing I am still. Subscribe to this frequency to stay aligned with your true purpose. The wait is over, even if the movement hasn't started yet. You are home, you are safe, and you are loved.